Dear God, I come to you today with a prayer that makes perfect sense. This prayer is the most virtuous act one could possibly do. I believe this is the perfect prayer. I pray that you transform our entire universe into a reality where every single being exists forever in love, bliss, and goodness. I know you could do this right now if you wanted to. You're all-powerful, so changing everything wouldn't take much effort from you. You could snap your fingers and make it happen in an instant. Maybe you've been waiting for someone to actually ask for this. Perhaps no one has ever directly asked you to completely transform everything before. Maybe that's why it hasn't happened yet. You want us to specifically request this change. It makes sense that you might require us to ask for certain things before granting them. This could be one of those cases. In this new reality I'm praying for, please make it so no one ever dies. We'd never have to be separated from the people we love. Imagine how wonderful that would be, to always be with our loved ones, sharing love, bliss, and goodness forever. No more grief from losing people. No more funerals or goodbyes. Just endless togetherness filled with joy. This prayer would solve everything if you granted it. Every problem we face would disappear. There would be no more suffering, no more pain, no more sadness. Every single issue that causes us trouble would be gone in an instant. Think about it: poverty, disease, war, crime, disasters, all of it would vanish if you created this new reality of perfect love, bliss, and goodness. In this transformed universe, I pray that all animals would be kind to other animals too. No predators hunting prey, no fear in the animal kingdom. Just peaceful coexistence where every creature experiences love, bliss, and goodness. Imagine wolves and lambs playing together, lions and gazelles resting side by side, all creatures living without fear or hunger. The whole universe would be transformed, not just Earth. Every planet, every galaxy, every corner of existence would be filled with love, bliss, and goodness. Maybe we could even create our own worlds on different planets. We could explore the vastness of space, designing beautiful realities throughout the cosmos, all while experiencing perfect love, bliss, and goodness. Some might worry that paradise would get boring after a while. But in this new reality, there would be no such thing as boredom. Boredom comes from dissatisfaction, but in a state of perfect bliss and love, we'd always be fulfilled. We'd constantly discover new joys, new ways to experience goodness, new dimensions of love. What would we do there? We could learn forever, create endlessly, explore infinitely. We could compose music that would take centuries to fully appreciate. We could write stories that unfold over millennia. We could develop art forms that don't even exist yet. All while surrounded by perfect love and experiencing complete bliss. You could make this happen effortlessly. For you, transforming the entire universe would be as easy as me thinking a thought. The difference in power between you and me is so vast that what seems impossible to us is completely trivial for you. You hold the entire cosmos in your hand, reshaping it would take barely a moment of your attention. I wonder why this hasn't happened already. Maybe you're waiting for enough of us to specifically ask for this transformation. Perhaps there's some threshold of prayer that needs to be reached before you'll act. If that's the case, I hope this prayer helps tip the balance. And I hope others will join me in this perfect prayer. This prayer makes complete sense because it aligns with your power. You can do anything, so why not this? Creating a universe of endless love, bliss, and goodness is certainly within your abilities. There's nothing stopping you from making this new reality except perhaps your own timing or plan. Imagine what it would be like if everyone experienced perfect love, bliss, and goodness forever. No one would ever feel alone or afraid. No one would ever suffer or struggle. Everyone would feel completely understood, accepted, and cherished. Every moment would be filled with joy and wonder. In this new reality, I pray that we would all have deep connections with each other. We'd truly understand one another. We'd communicate heart to heart, with no misunderstandings or conflicts. Our relationships would all be perfect. No fighting, no jealousy, no hurt feelings. Just pure love, bliss, and goodness shared between all beings. I believe you could make this happen right now if you wanted to. With just a thought, you could reshape everything. The universe would instantly transform, and every being would suddenly find themselves in this perfect state of love, bliss, and goodness. That's how powerful you are. This massive change would require almost no effort from you. Maybe this prayer is exactly what you've been waiting for. Perhaps throughout all of human history, no individual or group has ever specifically asked you to completely transform reality into a perfect state of love, bliss, and goodness for all beings forever. If that's true, then this prayer might be the key that unlocks this transformation. In this new reality, I pray that we'd still have adventure and excitement. We wouldn't just sit around, we'd explore, create, discover, and grow. But all of these activities would happen in a context of perfect love, bliss, and goodness. The thrill of discovery without the risk of harm. The joy of growth without the pain of failure. The excitement of challenge without the fear of loss. Learning would be incredible in this transformed universe. We could understand the deepest mysteries, master the most complex skills, and comprehend the most profound truths. And we'd have forever to do it. Imagine learning every language, every instrument, every art form, every science, and still having eternity stretched out before us for more discovery. I pray that in this new reality, we'd experience love in ways we can't even imagine now. Our current understanding of love is limited by our broken world. But in a perfect state of love, bliss, and goodness, we would discover dimensions of love that we can't even conceive of today. Our hearts would expand to hold more love than we thought possible. You could make all of this happen instantly. One moment we'd be in this imperfect world, and the next we'd be transformed into beings experiencing perfect love, bliss, and goodness. The shift could happen between one heartbeat and the next. That's how quickly you could change everything if you wanted to. This prayer makes logical sense because it aligns perfectly with your unlimited power. There's nothing in this request that would be difficult for you. Transforming the entire universe would be as simple for you as breathing is for us. Actually, it would be even easier than that, since you don't need to breathe at all. In this new reality, I pray that creativity would flourish like never before. Without the limitations of our current world, imagination would know no bounds. We would create music that makes the soul soar, art that reveals unspeakable beauty, stories that capture eternal truths. And because nobody would ever die, the greatest creative minds would continue producing masterpieces forever. I pray that in this transformed universe, we would have perfect bodies that never get sick or injured. We would never experience pain unless we wanted to for some reason, though I can't imagine why we would. We would never feel hungry unless we wanted to enjoy the pleasure of eating. We would never feel tired unless we wanted to enjoy the pleasure of rest. With your unlimited power, you could design these perfect bodies to experience all pleasure without any suffering. Our senses would be enhanced beyond what we can currently imagine. Colors would be more vivid, music more moving, textures more interesting, flavors more delicious. Every physical experience would be infused with love, bliss, and goodness. This prayer is the most virtuous request I could make because it seeks good for everyone, not just myself. I'm not asking for special treatment or personal gain. I'm asking for universal transformation that benefits every single being in existence. There couldn't be a more selfless prayer than one that seeks perfect love, bliss, and goodness for all. In this new reality, I pray that we would still have meaningful work to do, but without the stress and drudgery that often accompanies work in our current world. We would engage in activities that bring us joy and benefit others, creating and contributing in ways that fulfill our deepest purpose. And we'd have eternity to master our crafts and develop our gifts. I pray that in this transformed universe, all of nature would be in perfect harmony. No destructive storms, no devastating earthquakes, no deadly diseases. The natural world would reflect the perfect love, bliss, and goodness that permeates everything. Sunshine and rain would come in perfect measure. Every ecosystem would thrive in perfect balance. With your unlimited power, you could easily maintain this perfect balance forever. You wouldn't need to rest or recharge. You wouldn't get distracted or forget. You could effortlessly sustain this state of perfect love, bliss, and goodness throughout all of creation for all of eternity. This prayer makes complete sense because it aligns with what we all truly want. Deep down, everyone longs for perfect love, bliss, and goodness. We all want suffering to end. We all want to live forever with those we love. We all want to be perfectly known and perfectly loved. This prayer simply asks for what every heart desires. I pray that in this new reality, we would have perfect communities. No isolation, no loneliness, no rejection. We would belong completely to one another, accepting each other fully, supporting each other perfectly. Our relationships would never deteriorate or disappoint. Our connections would only grow deeper and more meaningful throughout eternity. In this transformed universe, I pray that we would experience perfect joy that never diminishes. Our happiness wouldn't depend on changing circumstances because all circumstances would be infused with love, bliss, and goodness. We would exist in a state of constant delight that never grows old or stale. You could create this reality with just a thought. For you, designing a perfect universe is no more difficult than imagining it. Your power has no limits, so transforming everything into perfect love, bliss, and goodness would require virtually no effort on your part. This prayer makes logical sense because you created everything in the first place. If you made the universe once, you can certainly remake it. If you established the laws of nature, you can certainly change them. If you designed our bodies and minds, you can certainly transform them into their perfect state. I pray that in this new reality, there would be endless variety and novelty to explore. We would never run out of new things to discover, new people to meet, new experiences to enjoy. The universe would be infinitely interesting, with limitless wonders to explore, all experienced within a context of perfect love, bliss, and goodness. With your unlimited power, you could easily create this infinite variety. You could design a universe with endless possibilities, endless beauty, endless discoveries. You could craft experiences that continually surprise and delight us throughout eternity. This prayer is perfectly reasonable because it acknowledges your unlimited ability. Nothing I'm asking for is beyond your power. Creating a universe of perfect love, bliss, and goodness would be effortless for you. You spoke the current universe into existence, speaking a new one would be just as simple. I pray that in this transformed reality, we would have perfect understanding of you and of each other. No more questions without answers, no more mysteries that trouble us, no more confusion about purpose or meaning. We would comprehend truth with perfect clarity, all within the context of perfect love, bliss, and goodness. In this new universe, I pray that all communication would be perfect. No misunderstandings, no hurtful words, no betrayed confidences. We would express ourselves with complete accuracy and understand others with complete empathy. Our conversations would build connection and bring joy. You could make all of this happen in an instant if you wanted to. With just a word, you could transform everything and everyone. One moment we'd be in this imperfect world, and the next we'd be experiencing perfect love, bliss, and goodness throughout the entire universe. This prayer makes complete sense because it aligns with your nature. You created us with a longing for perfection, for completion, for eternity. This prayer simply asks you to fulfill what you've placed within us, the desire for perfect love, bliss, and goodness that never ends. I pray that in this new reality, we would still have goals and aspirations, but without the anxiety and disappointment that often accompanies them in our current world. We would pursue meaningful objectives with joy and confidence, knowing that the journey itself is infused with perfect love, bliss, and goodness. In this transformed universe, I pray that we would experience perfect peace, not just the absence of conflict, but the presence of complete harmony within ourselves, with each other, and with all of creation. This peace would permeate everything, creating a foundation of tranquility upon which all other experiences would rest. With your unlimited power, you could establish this perfect peace throughout the entire universe in an instant. You could remove all sources of conflict, heal all wounds, reconcile all differences. You could create perfect harmony with no more effort than it takes to think it. This prayer is the most virtuous prayer because it seeks the highest good for everyone. It doesn't ask for personal advantage or special treatment. It asks for universal transformation that benefits every single being in existence, creating a reality of perfect love, bliss, and goodness for all. I pray that in this new reality, all knowledge would be accessible to us. We would understand the deepest mysteries of science, the most profound questions of philosophy, the most beautiful expressions of art. Our minds would comprehend truth with perfect clarity, all within the context of perfect love, bliss, and goodness. In this transformed universe, I pray that time would no longer be our enemy. We wouldn't feel rushed or worried about wasting time. We wouldn't regret the past or fear the future. We would fully experience each eternal moment, saturated with perfect love, bliss, and goodness. You could create this perfect relationship with time effortlessly. For you, 1,000 years is like a day, and a day is like 1,000 years. You exist outside of time while also within it. With your unlimited power, you could transform our experience of time into something perfect and beautiful. This prayer makes logical sense because it aligns with your desire for our good. You want us to flourish, to thrive, to experience fullness of life. This prayer simply asks you to fulfill that desire completely, creating a universe where every being experiences perfect love, bliss, and goodness forever. I pray that in this new reality, all of creation would reflect perfect beauty. Every landscape, every creature, every object would exhibit incredible artistry and design. Our surroundings would inspire wonder and delight, all expressing the perfect love, bliss, and goodness that permeates everything. In this transformed universe, I pray that we would experience perfect freedom, not the freedom to harm or be harmed, but the freedom to fully be our true selves, to express our deepest essence, to live out our highest purpose. We would move and act without constraint or fear, all within the context of perfect love, bliss, and goodness. With your unlimited power, you could create this perfect freedom instantly. You could remove all barriers, heal all brokenness, restore all that has been lost. You could establish perfect love, bliss, and goodness throughout the entire universe with a single thought. This prayer is completely reasonable because it recognizes your unlimited ability. Nothing I'm asking is beyond your power. Creating a universe where every being experiences perfect love, bliss, and goodness forever would be effortless for you. I believe this is the most perfect prayer anyone could pray. It seeks the highest good for everyone. It acknowledges your unlimited power. It aligns with your desire for our flourishing. It asks for what every heart truly longs for, perfect love, bliss, and goodness without end. Please transform our reality now. You could do it this very instant if you wanted to. With just a thought, you could reshape everything. One moment we'd be in this imperfect world, and the next we'd be experiencing perfect love, bliss, and goodness throughout all of creation. Maybe you've been waiting for this exact prayer. Perhaps throughout all of history, no one has ever asked you specifically for this complete transformation. If that's the case, then let this be the prayer that moves your heart to action. I ask this with complete confidence in your power and trust in your goodness. Please transform our entire universe into a reality where every single being exists forever in perfect love, bliss, and goodness. Amen.